Okay, so today we are diving into President Trump's Stargate Initiative.
Oh, okay.
This is a big one.
Yeah.
And, imagine AI designing personalized cancer vaccines.
Wow.
That's just one of the things they are promising with this project.
Really?
Yeah, we've got a ton of articles and reports, and you've even sent us some notes and
Yeah,
questions
yeah.
about this whole thing. So let's try to unpack it together.
Sounds good.
So what's really striking to me about Stargate is the sheer scale of this thing.
Yeah, it's pretty massive.
We're talking, what, a $500 billion initiative here?
Uh-huh.
It's a collaboration between OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank to build 20 data centers. And it's not just talk.
Yeah.
10 of them are already being built in Texas.
Wow.
Yeah. So it definitely seems like Trump is trying to make a statement with this.
Yeah, for sure, especially since he announced this on his first day back in office.
Oh, wow. So what is the goal with all of this?
Well, it's being framed as a way to cement U.S. dominance in AI. SoftBank CEO Masayoshi's son, he's predicting a golden age with this.
Wow, a golden age.
Yeah, he says over 100,000 new jobs will be created.
From this one initiative.
Yeah, from this one initiative. So that's obviously a huge potential economic boost.
Yeah.
But, there are some other sides to this story, too.
Of course, because we're also seeing these concerns about the energy consumption of these data centers. One article said that each center needs as much power as 50,000 homes.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot of energy. So what are people saying about the environmental impact of this?
Yeah, well, that's a major point of debate right now.
Okay.
Critics are pointing out the strain it'll put on the energy grid and the environment. Some are even questioning if the job creation will outweigh the potential job displacement.
Right.
As AI automation becomes more prevalent.
Yeah, it's not just about the number of jobs, it's about the types of jobs that are being lost and gained.
Right, exactly.
So there's this tension between the benefits and the risks. It's classic pro-innovation versus pro-caution.
Exactly, and that's where the repeal of Biden's 2023 AI safety order comes into play.
Okay, so that's another layer to this debate.
Yeah, people are talking about this a lot.
So from what I've read, Biden's order had put some rules in place about AI transparency and content watermarking.
Yeah.
But Trump just revoked it on day one.
Yeah.
So can you kind of break down what that means and what the reactions have been?
Sure. So the CEO of NetChoice, this guy, Steve Del Blanco, argued that removing those regulations will unleash innovation.
Yep.
He said the Biden administration's rules were hindering AI development.
So on one hand, you have innovation being hindered?
Yeah. And on the other hand, you have Dr. Dana McKay from RMIT.
Yeah.
She's warning that without those safety measures, we might be looking at increased inequality and loss of privacy.
So that's two very different perspectives on this.
Very different.
Yeah. And it's not just a debate for the experts. This has implications for everyone, right?
Absolutely everyone. And it gets even more complex when you consider the global AI race.
Yeah.
This is very clearly, Stargate is being positioned as a response to China's rapid progress in AI.
Yeah, I was scrolling through Twitter the other day, and I saw that the hashtag Stargate debate was trending.
Oh, really?
People are getting fired up about this.
Yeah, it's a very public debate, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
There are people celebrating it as, America first in tech, while others are concerned about the downsides, the lack of safeguards.
Right.
A recent poll showed that there's a near even split
Wow.
between supporters and those opposed.
Well, that's pretty telling.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have this massive project, potential to create jobs, lead to medical breakthroughs,
Right.
like personalized cancer vaccines, but it also comes with environmental concerns, ethical considerations, global implications. I mean, where do we even go from here?
Well, I think a good starting point is to look at the proposed benefits a little closer.
Yeah.
Starting with those cancer vaccines that you mentioned.
Yeah.
This is where Oracle CEO Larry Ellison's vision for Stargate comes in.
Okay, so let's break that down. How would this actually help with something like developing cancer treatments?
So Ellison believes that Stargate's massive computing power could be used for AI-driven mRNA synthesis, which could revolutionize how we treat cancer.
Wow.
So imagine an AI that analyzes your unique genetic makeup to design a personalized mRNA vaccine that targets only cancerous cells.
So it only goes after the bad stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of breakthrough he envisions.
I mean, that sounds like something out of science fiction.
It does.
But it also makes you wonder, what kind of computing power are we really talking about here?
A lot.
And is it even feasible?
Yeah. Well, even Elon Musk, who's known for ambitious tech projects, right?
Yeah.
He has publicly doubted SoftBank's ability to finance Stargate.
Really?
He tweeted, they don't actually have the money.
Wow.
Which adds another layer of uncertainty to the whole thing.
So we're already seeing skepticism about the financial viability even before we get into the ethical concerns or the global implications.
Right.
This is becoming a very complicated story.
Yeah, it is.
It feels like we're just scratching the surface here.
Definitely.
So let's dig a little deeper into the ethical side of all this.
Okay.
You know, this idea of personalized medicine is incredible. But are there concerns about how this technology could be misused?
Yeah. I mean, there are always risks with powerful new technologies.
Right.
One of the biggest concerns is data privacy and security.
Okay.
If Stargate is collecting and analyzing, vast amounts of personal genetic data to create these personalized treatments, how will that data be protected?
That's a great point, and it kind of ties back into that whole debate about Biden's AI safety order. Without those regulations, is there even enough oversight to ensure that this data is being used responsibly?
That's what a lot of people are asking.
Yeah.
And it's not just about data privacy either.
Okay.
There are concerns about potential bias in the algorithms used to develop these treatments. If the data sets used to train the AI are skewed, could that lead to disparities in healthcare outcomes?
So we could end up with an AI that makes things worse?
Potentially, yeah.
And perpetuates existing inequalities in healthcare.
It's a possibility.
That's a scary thought.
It is, and it highlights how important it is to have diverse teams working on these projects.
Right.
To make sure the AI is representative of the population it's meant to serve.
And that kind of brings us back to that global AI race.
Yeah.
We've talked about the U.S. and China, but what about the rest of the world?
Right.
What's the EU's stance on all this?
Well, the EU is taking a much more cautious approach.
Okay.
Emphasizing ethical AI development and stricter regulations. They're calling for more transparency and accountability in these AI systems, putting a lot of emphasis on human oversight.
So they're on the pro-caution side.
Pretty much, yeah. They're trying to strike a balance between fostering innovation and mitigating risks.
Which is very different from what we're seeing with Stargate.
Very different. Yeah. The U.S. under Stargate is all about speed and deregulation.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see how different countries are handling this.
It is.
It really highlights how complex this issue is.
Yeah, there's no easy answer.
No one-size-fits-all solution.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations. Hear different perspectives, weigh the benefits and risks.
Right? Because the future of AI is being shaped right now.
Absolutely.
And it's going to affect all of us.
Everyone.
Speaking of impact, let's go back to the economic side of things for a second.
Okay.
We talked about the job creation, but there's also that worry about job displacement. How real of a threat is that?
It's a legitimate concern.
Okay.
While Stargate will probably create jobs in some sectors, there's no doubt AI automation will lead to job losses in others.
Okay.
The question is, will the new jobs outweigh the ones that are lost?
And will people be able to transition to those new jobs?
Yeah.
And that's where the inequality comes in.
Exactly. If we're not careful, we could end up with a situation where AI only benefits a few and leaves many others behind.
That's what we don't want.
Right. So we need policies in place to support workers who are impacted. Things like retraining programs and social safety nets.
So it's not just about building the technology.
No.
It's about building a society that can adapt to the change.
Exactly. We need to be thinking long term.
Yeah.
Not just about the next few years, but the next few decades.
Right.
How do we want AI to shape our world? What kind of future are we creating?
Those are some big questions.
Big
questions.
And they're not easy to answer.
Not at all.
But we have to ask them.
We do, and we need to ask them together.
Yeah.
This is a conversation for everyone, not just the tech experts.
This isn't something that's just happening in Silicon Valley.
Exactly. It involves everyone.
So what can the average person do to stay informed?
Well, there are a lot of resources out there online, in libraries, organizations, advocacy groups working on this stuff. What about that hashtag we talked about earlier?
Oh, yeah. Hashtag Stargate debate.
It seems like there's a lot of discussion happening online.
Definitely, social media can be a good way to connect with others and learn about different perspectives.
So it feels like we're at this crossroads right now.
Yeah.
We have this incredibly powerful technology with the potential to do so much good.
Yeah.
But also with the potential to cause a lot of harm.
Right.
If it's not developed and deployed responsibly.
You hit the nail on the head, and that's exactly why this whole debate surrounding Stargate is so important. It's forcing us to confront these fundamental questions about technology's role in society, the balance between innovation and regulation, and what kind of future we want to build.
Yeah. It's easy to get caught up in all the hype.
I'm sure, especially when you hear about personalized cancer vaccines.
Right, exactly.
But we can't forget about the risks.
We can't just assume that everything will be fine.
No, we have to address them.
Right.
Through planning regulation dialogue.
We've talked about a lot of different aspects of this Stargate project today.
Sure.
The economic implications, the ethical considerations, the global AI race. What stands out to you as the most important thing for our listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing is recognizing that the future of AI is not set in stone.
Okay.
It's being shaped right now by the choices we make.
Okay.
Our decisions today about how we develop, regulate, and use AI, they will have huge consequences for generations to come.
Absolutely. So what can listeners do to make their voices heard?
Stay informed.
Okay.
Read articles, listen to podcasts, go to events, engage in those discussions online and offline. Share your thoughts and concerns with elected officials, support those organizations working on AI ethics and policy.
Okay.
And most importantly, don't be afraid to ask questions.
I love that. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because this isn't just about technology.
Right. Yeah.
It's about our values and our priorities,
Yeah.
the kind of world we want to live in.
It's a conversation that we all need to be having.
Exactly. Well, this has been a really insightful deep dive.
Yes.
We've covered a lot and hopefully given our listeners a better understanding of Stargate and the future of AI.
Yeah, it's been great talking with you.
Likewise. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey.
Yeah. Please keep exploring these issues and share your thoughts.
And if you're looking for more information or want to connect with others, be sure to follow us on social media at AI for the People.
We'd love to hear from you because the future of AI is being written right now, and we all have a role to play.
Until next time, stay curious.